Hello and welcome to Public Conscience, the anti-corruption program produced by the Progressive Impact Organization for Community Development, PRIMOG. PRIMOG is a civil society group with the mandate to promote good governance, participation, and accountability in Nigeria. I'm Okiria Agbonsuremi, and Adaobi Obiabumo, my colleague on the program, is right in here.
You're welcome to the program. On Public Conscience on Radio, we seek to evolve a corruption-free society through the amplification of corruption stories reported by our partner media organization and joint government and citizens for democratic actions against it. We are supported by the MacArthur Foundation.
Today we continue our focus on efforts by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, to stop the corruption inherent in the conception and implementation of the constituency projects in Nigeria. The ICPC has flagged off the second phase of tracking projects under the program.
Last week, the ICPC reported here on this program that unless citizens take hold of the projects through close monitoring, the original intention of using the intervention programs to further development across Nigeria will be a mirage. After the first phase of tracking, ICPC drove 200 contractors back to site to complete water, healthcare, and many other projects that were abandoned by the contractors.
Over 2 billion naira was recovered by the ICPC during the first phase of the project. And today, as the ICPC officials are on the field in the second phase, they need the support of citizens, communities, town unions, traditional and religious leaders to be alert to support the efforts of the ICPC and those officials on the field through the provision of information to track these projects.
We are also joined today by the top officials of the ICPC in the studio, in the person of Mrs. Azuka Ogugwa, Acting HOD, Public Enlightenment and spokesperson of the Commission, and Mr. Jimo Suleiman of the Constituency and Executive Project Monitoring Team.
And we are always glad, as usual, to welcome you to the program. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody.
Jimo, welcome to the program.
Good morning, everybody.
Well, we should tell you that Jimo is also an assistant commissioner at the ICPC. Remember that you can follow us on our social media platforms at Official PRIMOG. PRIMOG is spelled P-R-I-M-O-R-G. P-R-I-M-O-R-G. Official PRIMOG is what we have we will use on our social media platforms. And you can watch our videos on PRIMOG TV, our YouTube channel.
Please subscribe to PRIMOG TV to get reminders whenever we have a new post. And the number to send your messages is 0902-265-6167. This number is for messages only. You can also begin to send your messages.
Yes, please just be sending us your messages. And one of the most important things we also want to quickly let you know is that apart from the lines that we will go give to you, all the platforms that the ICPC do have that you can reach them, you can also reach us on our own platforms. And we should be very straight with it. The constituency project engagement is not the job of ICPC alone, and it's not just that of PRIMOG alone. You are involved, so you can actually assist in the tracking and the monitoring. And like you heard in the jingles that we played just now, if you do not take hold of these engagements, you probably will be giving too much work to the ICPC and making it possible for monies to go down the drain. So you can reach us through info@primog.org. info@primog.org. You can also send us a message. Definitely you have a project that is in your community and you don't know how it is going. And ICPC is waiting out there for somebody to tell them that the project is abandoned or is not done well, substandard, and the contractors are not doing what they ought to do. It is your duty to send us a message through info@primog.org or 090-22-65-6167. And if you send these messages, we'll treat it confidentially and pass the information to the ICPC or other relevant security agencies that can help track and make sure that monies don't go down the drain. And trust us, we will follow it up. Now let's turn to our guests. I want to welcome them again. But let's quickly take a look at Mrs. Azuka Gugwa. Let's look at just take one peep back to the past so that people will know where we are. 12 states were monitored and tracked in the first project, in the first phase. Which were the states that we followed up in the first phase that ended?
Okay, the 12 states that we tracked in the first phase were Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Bauchi, Benue, Enugu, Edo, Imo, Kano, Kogi, Lagos, Osun, Sokoto states, as well as part of the FCT. These are the 12 states that we tracked in the first phase.
Were you following it in alphabetical order? Because when I saw Sokoto, I said, yes.
Yeah, something like that.
All right. Now, we have already talked about, we talked last week about the huge fine, over 2 billion
over 2 billion that were recovered due to the monitoring by the ICPC.
And the story from Bauchi, that one got a lot of Twitter engagement for us, and a lot of people asking if legislator carrying tractors to his farm, and without the ICPC, nobody would have known that those tractors were for the communities.
And the community members, they were not aware.
Because they didn't ask questions. They don't know that.
They carried along in the first place. I doubt if they were carried along.
Where we are now is not where you are carried. You just have to carry yourself inside.
You have to carry yourself along.
You have to carry yourself inside. Let's take a look at what we are looking at, because last week you mentioned a threshold, because it is not all projects under the Constituency project we are looking at. Jimo, let's look at it. We talked about the 100 million projects and above. Were there peculiar challenges? Did you have cause to look down? Because you also said they split contract so as to avoid the going to the Federal Executive Council.
Yeah.
In this second phase, are we still staying with the 100 million worth of contract? What happened to contracts that are below, so we can steal it?
Okay, thank you very much. Constituency project started from I think 2000. So if we say we want to track all those projects, we'll go nowhere. That was why we have a threshold of 100 million above 2 billion, 3 billion, and whatever. However, we have also been tracking some projects that are below 100 million. And these are the projects that people in the community feels that, okay, there are some projects in their community. They write petitions to us. Even if it is 100,000 or 1 million, we do track those one. If it is just by community engagement through petition, we track project under 100 million. But if it is to select, the way we do now is that we start from 100 million and above, and those projects will be from focus sector, those sectors that have impact on the society: health, education, agriculture, water resources, and power sector. These are the sectors we are looking at.
Are we not going to inadvertently get them to actually remain within the splitting of these contracts, and you will not be able to monitor? If somebody has 40 million, 30 million project, motorcycles, grinding machines, sewing machines, all those ones, they have just put it with. How do we make sure that we do not get?
We just started last year. Yeah. So that was why we brought the threshold to 100 million. Definitely, now that it's continual, definitely we have to come back to maybe 50 million, 20 million, or whatever. And people at the grassroots should also contribute by writing, by getting involved, telling us what is happening in their community, such that even if a project is 20 million and they feel that this project was not well executed, then we go there and see what has happened, and we bring in whoever has done something wrong. So it doesn't mean that we are going to stay put at that 100 million threshold. We can come down to 50, 20, and 10. There are some projects that split last year that they were maybe 5 million projects, and we did what needed to be done.
Can we have the states that you're tracking in this second phase?
Delta is one of them. Ogun, Kaduna, Cross River, Taraba, Ekiti, Gombe, Nasarawa, Kebbi, Kwara, Jigawa, Abia, Ebonyi, Rivers, Niger, and Oyo State. These are 16 states in all. That's where we are tracking now. That does not mean, however, that we have abandoned the other 12 states, or we have not moved forward to the other 6 states. What it means is that this is where we are concentrating our efforts for now, but we are mobilizing the community in all the states. So we're telling everybody, even if your state is not among those tracked in the first one or those being tracked now, because 12 plus 16, that's 28. So even if your state has not yet been tracked and you still see something that is being a constituency project going on, you can still make inquiries, you can still make reports. So these are the 16 states we are concentrating on right now.
How do people, the communities, the people, we are talking about communities, associations, individuals, where do they go to know where what the constituency projects are in their communities?
Yes.
How do they get it?
One of the ways, and that's the simplest way, is a toll-free call to ICPC. We gave the number last time and we are giving it again. 0800 2255 4272. It's 12 digits. So they should not be worried about.
11.
Not 11 digits. It's 0800. It's actually 0800 call ICPC. So it's easy to remember when you think of call ICPC. Now, when you call, the people manning the toll-free lines have access to at least up to 2019 constituency project.
To tell you where they are.
Tell you. So it might take some time, but they will search on their system and get your community, your local government, and give you the exact projects voted.
And it's a toll-free number.
It's a toll-free number at no cost to the caller, especially on MTN, and we have other toll-free numbers.
Now, from your experience, man, we'll get to those toll-free numbers because
Okay.
we want our people to actually get those information. Now, how are they structured? When I say I'm from a community, if I call you and say I'm from XYZ community, does that are constituency projects tied to communities or to local government, or how are they structured?
Well, to local government first, but then there are communities in the local government.
Yeah, that's what I want to say now, because some people will say they don't even know if there's anything tied to their community.
Exactly the questions we got after this program last week. I got a lot of calls asking me from my community and from my state, what is our constituency project? So I had to go to our site where our toll-free numbers get their information from. I had to go there and check for my community and for communities around me. People were calling me, so I would check. I would say, okay, for 2019, this is what is voted. 700 meters of road is constructed in this community. In that community, a lot of motorized water, that's boreholes. Yes, there was a lot of that, and they were like, they had never known. They had never even thought it concerned them. Many of them wanted to know whether there was any give out anyway, so they can go and say we want to get.
Yeah.
But by the time we spoke, a lot of people, I'm talking about enlightened people, educated people, were not aware that there were such things available for them to benefit from in their communities. So when they were told, they'll be like, okay, it's in my local government, this one is not in my community. I say, yes, maybe it was not voted in your community, but it is in your local government. So you can call ICPC on this toll-free line, this one that you call MTN and Glo, right? It will go toll-free at no cost to you. You will make your call, get the answer you want. If you don't get, you can call back, or they might tell you to give them some time, get your details, and respond to you.
Now, in this second phase, what are the ICPC field officials looking out for in tracking these constituency projects?
First of all, look at the fact that is the project, is it funded? There is difference between appropriation and releases. If the project, if there are releases on the project, then when our people go out, the first thing is that, okay, the project, is it done to specifications? That is the first thing. And for you to be able to know whether a project is done to specification, there are some certain documents that you have to look at. That is, first of all, bill of engineering measurements, bill of quantities. They will now match whatever we see there with what is in their file and what is in the what the releases are. When our field officers, especially those procurement officers among them and the quantity surveyors among them, when they see what is on the ground, they will be able to say that now this project is not what it should be. You say you collected 100 million to build a primary school, 2 blocks, and in that primary school there are no windows, there are no doors. So when we look at those, we see that no, this is wrong. Then when we now come back, we call the contractors, we call the agency to come and explain why these releases does not match what we see with regard to the specification. So these are the things that we look out when we go to field. But it's, essentially, we have professionals, procurement experts, and quantity surveyors that go out with us, so such that nobody will say what you have seen is not right. What you are saying is not right. We match whatever we see on ground with what we have on papers.
Now the crux of the matter, I think this is where we will expect our callers to really indeed, those who want to call into the program, who want to send messages to ICPC, and those who also want to send messages to Primark through the lines we give, and we'll continue to give them out. What kind of assistance do you require from citizens? I mean, you go to the field, you have done all what Mr. Jimoh has said, you do your due diligence. Is the money released because of an allocation? Was the money released? What length of road is it? How many tricycles? Borehole? How much was budgeted for? You have seen it, and they are located in these constituencies. What kind of assistance do you require from citizens and communities in tracking, locating, and recovery of maybe monies, or even like the tractor that was taken in Bauchi that was in somebody's farm? What do you require from the citizens?
Basically, what we require is information. We require mostly information, because a lot of citizens don't speak out, and that is why we made sure that our numbers are toll-free, so that it doesn't cost you anything to make that call. Okay, so we require information on where some of these projects are located. We require assistance in getting there for the field officers, showing them what is done, what has not been done. We require access to, taking them to where some of these things are. We require information on, even the ones that we didn't mark, we didn't highlight for tracking. There's a project going on here, and we don't even know the status of the project. It's just here. What is ICPC? Can ICPC come and help us to verify what this project is? We require information on if they think there are fraudulent procurement practices. If they think this man is a senator and maybe it is his people, his boys that are doing the work, any information that they can give us is very, very well appreciated. And
I just right here, I want you to, because those people will say, how do we reach you? Let's just quickly tell, how can citizens, let us give out the phone numbers again, let us give out the website.
Yes.
So that people who have biro and pen, who couldn't take it at the beginning, will take it, because this is about you. Taking the information and passing it to the appropriate quarters. Do they need to identify themselves? Do they need to say, my name is so person? Do you need any form of verification of the person? Can people give you information anonymously?
Yes, they can give us information anonymously. So it's allowed. You can call and refuse to say your name, and we will take the information. Because when you give information on this project, you don't need to be there for us to go and track the project. So you can give information anonymously. We also appreciate when people give us their names. They are taking a risk, even if it is a first name and their number, so that we can follow up.
Yes.
Apart from our toll-free numbers, you can reach us at www.icpc.gov.ng. That's our website. There's a template there for reporting. Okay, so www.icpc.gov.ng, that's our website. Then you can reach us on Twitter at ICPC_PE. PE is for Public Enlightenment. At ICPC_PE. You can tag us and let us know. Take a picture
and tag it.
And tag ICPC. We will know what you are talking about. We will infer from what you have said. So you can tag us on Facebook. We are ICPC Nigeria. You can follow us. You can like our page and follow our news, and then you can post on our page for our guests. You can post and also let us know. You can also follow us on Instagram, and we have and YouTube, ICPC Nigeria. So those are our 4 social media platforms that you can reach out to us at any time, any day. Well, on the social
Can I
media,
just quickly
on
ask,
social
how-
media, we
Yeah, go ahead.
on social media we will know your yes.
Identity.
Then you can send us an email, info@icpc.gov.ng. So these are the platforms you can use everywhere. We are in 15 states of the federation. We're in 15 states, so you can go to the nearest state office to you and reach out to us.
Could you please repeat the toll-free number?
The main toll-free number which anybody can use and is easy to remember is 0800 call ICPC. That is CALL ICPC, which translates to.
Are we sure all phones can?
That's what I'm trying to say. What it translates to? It translates to 0800 2255 4272. Okay, 22554272, but it's a 12-digit number, 0800, and when you call it, it is toll free at no cost to you.
Okay, that is good enough. Remember that it is a program that is produced by the Progressive Impact Organization for Community Development, Public Conscience, and our intention on the program is to promote good governance, participation, and accountability. And we are talking accountability on the program this morning as far as the tracking of constituency projects by the ICPC is concerned. We have two guests in the studio from ICPC, the head of the HOD of Public Enlightenment Department, Mrs. Ogugwa, and Mr. Momo, who is a field officer.
Jimo.
Mr. Jimo, who is a field officer, who is telling us exactly what the situation has been. But just before we go to the next critical question, I want to ask Mrs. Ogugwa, what has been your experience with the Nigerian public using these platforms in the last 1 year or so, since particularly during the first phase? Did they use it effectively?
Well, we thought that they didn't. That was why we launched a project called My Constituency, My Project. You know, when you are advertising a number and people are not really getting you, sometimes you need to go and meet them face to face to tell them. So that made us to start this sensitization, like I said, with Nigeria National Orientation Agency, because they have the reach.
Okay.
So we went down to the grassroots to disseminate this information, and since then it has increased our receipt of reports on the toll-free numbers.
Well, we have joined now. I mean, Primog is also in there. You can also reach us, and we can assure you that if you reach us, we will definitely reach ICPC. We're already working with ICPC in one of the projects with UBEC. We wrote to them, and they have gone to which newspaper published it?
This day?
No,
Daily Trust.
Daily Trust Foundation worked on that, and when we amplified it, we wrote to UBE. They refused to come. We asked ICPC to go into it. They are inviting them. They are asking them questions. You cannot just go build a school. They ask you to build 6 blocks. You do 3 blocks, and then you think nobody will just get to know. We get to know. Citizens get to know. Now, before we open the phone for our callers, those who are anxiously joining, the phone is already. We already have people wanting to join us on phone already. Let us ask this question, because it's also very important, Mr. Gugwa.
I want to know, if in the course of tracking the constituency project, can Nigerians report on other contracts or businesses and projects where they know funds have been stolen or projects abandoned?
That is, if they are not related to constituency projects, but there are projects that they know. One has been in Peggy community now. They have been calling us and telling us, look, this road, they have to do FOI. The community, very, very active community, until the FCT had to respond to them, send contractors to the place. There are people who are also active. If they are not constituency projects, can they also report on this?
Yeah.
Yes, people in communities, when they hear what we are doing about constituency project, they just quickly they key in, and whatever project going on in their community, they write to us that these are the problems they are having, and we go in and we look at those projects, and eventually either the contractor goes back to the site, or we recover from the contractors.
Yes, and it doesn't have to be constituency projects.
And again,
any government project.
And again, now this second phase is not only constituency projects, constituency and executive projects. That's what we are doing now.
Yes.
based on what we did last year,
From
people
last
are saying
From
why
your experience
Yes.
last year.
why is it that we concentrated more on constituency projects
project.
because it is for legislators. So now at this second phase,
Anything initiated by the MDA.
Anything
MDAs, that's what
initiated by
we-
government.
governments.
It's
That's
government.
what we are doing.
It doesn't have to, whether it's initiated by the legislators or the MDAs, it is government. So constituency and executive projects, and they can report on any other type of corruption they see taking place in government office. In fact, this whole exercise has brought awareness
Serious
of
one.
people's obligation to report corruption, any form of corruption.
Does this search and report, does it include to states and local government?
Well, our own scope, our focus
It's on federal government.
is on
So
federal.
it's on federal.
But it is the federal government work at the grassroots.
But if anybody writes a petition that is maybe on local government,
That is
whatever,
connected to state
definitely
or
we are
local
going to
We
do
are
that.
going
Definitely
there.
because we are for all Nigerians.
we're all
Definitely we are going
Nigerians, and
to.
it's still Nigerian funds.
Okay, you're on to public conscience, and we've been speaking with Mrs. Azuka and Mr. Jimo of the ICPC. We are dealing with constituency and executive projects.
And how do you think the ICPC can better track these projects? You can also ask questions. We want to know what you know about constituency projects. We are all from one constituency or the other. We have emphasized that there's nobody that is not from a constituency. So what do you think? How do we achieve a good implementation of constituency projects? Thank you very much. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Toju. I'm calling from Abuja. I
Go ahead, please.
appreciate everyone for the program so far, and I've listened to the ICPC persons. What I want to recommend is that can ICPC put this project in the website of ICPC? So even beyond calling to know what project exists in my community, I could simply go to their website, engage, filter for my own community, and then see the number of projects in my community. That way, I can also better engage ICPC and other agency of government as to status of project completed or not completed. That's
All right, thank you very much. I think that is also one that we'll begin to find out if it is possible for ICPC to post all the projects. That's a whole lot of work to do. But then, if they already have it somewhere, they can actually post it somewhere so that instead of calling, you just go to the website and call. Maybe you want to make a you want to make a contribution to that, because I know that all projects that are done in the office of the Accountant General of the Federation, the Open Treasury platform,
Yes.
and in the COPO platform too of the Bureau of Public Procurement, where they are supposed to.
And we're actually working with Accountant General BPP. So if they go to the Open Treasury platform, it
We'll see
is
all the
there.
projects
They
there.
will see all the projects there.
Okay, let's take this. Hello.
But the comment is noted.
Hello?
We are hearing you. Hello, go ahead. Your name, where are you calling from?
This is Johnson calling in Abuja.
Okay, go ahead, please.
So let me ask this question. So, like my case, how do I know that this the constituent project that my senator house or rep collect? Another issue, all those money that they used to like if there's crisis somewhere, they used to go and buy food to donate to those IDP camps. Is it a part of constituent project or how?
Your first question is what, sir?
How do I know that this is the constituent project that my senator or my house or rep collect money for? Because we don't even see their budget. We don't even know how much they pay for the project that they collect the money for.
The second question is.
Hello?
Hello.
I'm hearing you.
You are talking about palliatives. Okay, thank you very much.
So IDPs, whether they are constituency projects too.
Yes. Do we want to take notes so that we just answer?
Okay,
all of them at
yes,
the same
we have
time?
noted
So
it.
no, you just
Yes.
note it so that we get. Hello. Thank you for joining us on the program. What your name? Where you are calling from?
Yeah, I'm Mr. Diane Stevens, calling from the SciTech Abuja.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm very happy to get you on the line. Last week I'm trying to call, but the time was short. And there is something that happened. Somehow I don't know whether this one should be constituency project or the state government project in my own community.
Which community is that? Which constituency are you talking about?
It's in Plateau State, Bokos local government.
Bokos local government.
The community is Gara by name.
Can you spell it?
Gara is Gahar.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the community, I think it should be 2006. They brought a light for us, and the light is like, they brought the pole wires on its own first. They mount some, then they left some on the ground. Then later on, they brought a transformer and mount it. The other pole wires are still down. That's how they stop it. From where they brought it, I think the pole wires, they rise up, were up, not up to 30. Then the ones that they have brought, they end up picking them back later.
The transformer is still hanging there. It's not connected.
Right now, the transformer is still standing there. Nobody is using it. And we don't know what is happening. They end up packing the transformer back. I've tried my best to ask them from the community. After that last week, I asked them from the community to at least try and get it for me. Who was the owner of the contract? Is it the state government or federal government? So that I can know how to explain what. So they are trying to fast track it to get how they can be able to get back to me. They have not given me the real report. But this was how the contract ended. They packed the
You do us a favor. You do us a favor. We'll give you our number, and then you send us a text message with all these details so that we can follow it up. I can assure you that the ICPC will follow up and find out if it's a local government project, if it is a state government project, if it's a federal government project, whether constituency or not. Thank you very much. Please just listen and take our numbers.
All right, thank you.
Our number is
0902 265 6167.
You can reach us. Our phones are open. Interact with us. Tell us about your own experience with constituency projects. Tell us what you think ICPC can do to better track these projects, and then what you also, the little you know about constituency projects. We have told you last week that the grinding machines, all those things you see legislators distribute in their communities are not their own. It's actually constituency projects. If they give you a motorcycle, or they give you a grinding machine or a sewing machine, hairdressing, we want to know the quality, because they may say they want to give you this A and they are not giving you. So we know exactly how it goes. Hello. Hello, your name, where you calling from, and
Samuel Adegoroye.
Samuel Adegoroye, thank you for joining us on the program.
From Ugagalaga.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. I don't want to have just a project that is going on in Akoko Edo, that is Oloma, the village.
Akoko Edo is in Edo State?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Akoko Edo local government, that is the village is Oloma.
What's the name of the village?
Oloma, Oloma.
Okay, but you know the rule. What you do is to send us the details and the message even after the program through the number we'll give you. Just continue to listen to us. Now, what's the problem with the project?
It's only transformer that is mad there, and then the transformer is only mounted there. We are even expecting that they will come and draw the wires some months now. We are expecting that.
How long ago has this project been there?
That is up to 6 months now.
Okay. Do you know if it's a state project or a federal project?
I don't know whether it's federal project or state project, because I just traveled down there and then they were telling me that it's a project that whether it's federal government or they don't know, whether it's constituency.
What you are saying is that the project has been abandoned?
Yes, for now.
Thank you.
For now.
You say for now.
We have a message from Hamzi from Gwarimpa. It's via WhatsApp. He says, what if after asking for the constituency project and there are no projects done, who do we hold accountable for this?
What if?
After asking for constituency project, he knows that there is an allocation for a project and there's no project done.
Okay.
Who should they hold accountable for this?
Okay, my guest will answer that. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, please, can you put down the volume of your radio set, please?
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Your name and where you are calling from.
Yeah, Sunday is calling from Garimpa.
Okay, Sunday, go ahead.
Please, I want to ask a question. Please, most of constituency projects, most of them, there is not even, if you go any local government, any constituency, you don't even see any cases of any project there. And which there is a budget for it. Who are we going to hold accountable for it? Because likewise, my local government, I used to go home, but I have not ever seen any even abandoned projects.
What? Which home? When you say home, where is your constituency? Where is your local government?
Local government in Osun State.
You said?
Odo.
I know the place.
Odo local government.
Okay, Odoti local government.
Local government.
All right. We have.
I went there. I've never seen any even fed this constituency project. I've never seen it. But if it's an abandon, we even see it if an abandoned project. This is abandoned project. This is a constituency project. We have never seen it.
Okay. I think if you are not sure if a project, whether you have a project in your community or you don't even have at all, it's also the same thing. You call ICPC to say, I'm from this local government, I'm from this community. Under your platform, can you find out if there's any project there that has been funded so that we know? And the other person who called to also, it's the same thing. If there's a project and you think nothing has been done, you can also get information from ICPC. Maybe I should allow you to just respond to some of the issues that have been raised.
Okay.
While we are still taking some calls.
Okay, I'll respond. The first caller that mentioned that whether we can put the projects on our website is noted. I think we will look into that so that it's easier for people to have access. At least we might be able to put those that we are tracking or some projects, maybe not all, because we might not have that capacity to just put everyone and keep updating the information.
I think the importance of actually having, if it is possible to have all the projects, is to escape a situation, to avoid a situation where projects are actually funded and the community people don't even know. They don't even know.
Yes. So, but I think what we will work more towards is putting a link to the open treasury so that people who are on our website can click the link and be taken to where they will get all the projects. Second caller, you can call ICPC to know whether there is a constituency project that is donated to your community. Like I said earlier, I checked my community and I found one in my local government, not even in my community, somewhere else. And I was like, oh, okay, so there is something. I can now call my home people and say, are you people aware? Can you check this up for me and see the status of that? Then donating food stuff to IDPs is not a constituency project, please. So those that donate food stuff to IDPs is not constituency project.
Or even if they donate the food to communities and they are helping their people to survive, it is not constituency project.
It's not. It's not part of constituency project.
Then those that say that they don't know about any traces of any project in their community, it's not a matter of who to hold accountable. It's to seek information and get information about whether there is any voted for your community. The one thing we should understand is not every community that has a constituency project voted for that community. So you should find out if any project is voted to your community, then you can follow up. If it is not voted, it's probably voted to another community in your local government area. That is what I can remember. Okay, now.
Let's just ask
the transformers.
Okay, whether who should be held accountable. If money is released to an MD, definitely MD should be held accountable. If MD also releases the money to a contractor and the contractor has not done the job, the MD will hold the contractor accountable. However, ICPC can hold all of them accountable.
Yeah. Now let's take a quick. When did this second phase start?
It started 23rd June.
Now, do we have anything to share? Are you already seeing some flags are you already seeing some flags that you say, look, let us just share it to encourage people to say, okay, if this is happening, we will also let us key into it.
Let us wait for some time, in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
We can come out here and give you some feelers.
Some feelers.
Yes, of what is happening. Yeah.
No earth shaking one.
Our officers on the field,
Yes.
we can't discuss what they are going through now, except those that are already in the public domain, because they are on the team are media men. The local media go with them.
Go with
so
them.
some of
CSOs,
them you get
CSOs.
snippets of news here and there, but we can't just disclose it.
Can we have the toll-free numbers and your social media platforms so that
Yes.
people can report if they have pictorial evidences?
Yes.
They could share with you.
Okay, so our toll-free number, the one that is easy to remember, is 0800 2255 4272. 0800 2255 4272. And you can send us an email at info at icpc.gov.ng. info info at icpc.gov.ng. Our social media platform, Twitter at icpc_PE. Then Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, ICPC Nigeria. You get us on those platforms.
Let us emphasize again the need for community support for this project.
We need a lot. In fact, it's not just to report to ICPC. We need the community to also protect those projects, because it is in their community and it's meant to benefit them. They need to protect the projects from vandalizations, from thieves. So they don't say, oh, a senator voted it in, it's abandoned. Sometimes the community themselves, youths and some thieves there, are the ones that vandalize the projects and make the projects not to work. So apart from reporting, they too should sit up and ensure that the project achieves the purpose for which it is meant. Once it is completed, they should protect it and make sure it's not vandalized. They should report to ICPC. They should encourage the people, if they know their senators and their House of Reps members, encourage them to please execute the project. They should be open to interacting with every arm of government to make sure that the projects are delivered and services are delivered to their community.
Now,
community ownership of projects.
Community ownership of projects.
Now, we said last week that a lot of misinformation is in the air about constituency projects. Some people believe the legislators are the owners of those constituencies. We have dispelled that on this program, but you have also been shouting about it, that these are projects. The other area that we also get inquiries from, and I must ask it now because of last week's project, is how do the communities themselves be part of the conception of the project? Because once if the community is part of the conception, they will not be asking questions.
Yes.
Where is the project? What kind of project? It's ICPC's duty, maybe a flow from this exercise and what you have done. Are you thinking of how to get the legislators to get the communities involved in the conception of the project? We need water, we need road.
Yes.
The communities will be part of it.
Yes, we are working with all our partners. You are one of our partners. We are working with other CSO partners, the community-based organizations, faith-based organizations, women's groups, and everything, to tell them, have a voice in your budget processes. Be involved. Interact with your senators, your local government chairmen, with your councillors, so you have a say in telling them your needs, because that is where it starts. If they don't do needs assessment, you do needs expression. Go and tell them this is what we need. So a community member should know that they also have a duty to interact with government at all levels, local, state, and federal, the legislators, the executive, to say this is what we need. So as you make your voice heard, they will now be able to capture your needs in whatever projects they are nominated.
And lastly, let me ask Mr. Jimon. You saw what we call the Wayo in the first phase. All the Wayo, they hide the project, they don't do the standard and other things. Now tell us about what your men are actually looking for in these areas, and you are tracking to be from the experience you had in the first phase.
The first is that, like I told you, project to specification. Is this project, is it to the specification that is in the agreement? Then is it abandoned? Is it done in a personal property of a legislator? We have seen cases where you want to do a town hall, and you see that the legislator put the town hall on his own land. Before you know it, it becomes an hotel. So these are the issues that we see while on the that's it. Even like this lights, street lights, you see it in people's houses. So these are the issues. When we see such, then we have to invite them to come and explain why. And we usually ask the contractor, it's either you go and remove it and put it in a proper place, or you return the money.
So if a legislator puts a borehole in his house and put the pump outside for people to fetch in his community, it's a wrong idea.
It's a wrong idea. It's a wrong idea. So if it is your own, use your money to do it for yourself. But if you put it in your own house, if you can't recover that, they will ask you to pay the money back to the government covers. There's no two way about it.
Okay, we just have to go now because time is up. But of course, you know that this has been an interesting dialogue. Next week we are going to continue, and when we come back next week, yes, or 2 weeks time, maybe next week in 2 weeks time, we will tell you in the course of the week to see if they will come back next week, or we just do 2 weeks time so that we'll have opportunity of harvesting from the feed what the officials have seen. 2 weeks time we'll be back with the ICPC team. That time we will have some snippets of information on what is happening, and if we're also getting feedback from you from outside there, we also take a look and discuss them. So we will take a look at your own details, information you have. We have given you the numbers, we have given you the websites and all the areas. We'll repeat them for your own if you didn't get them. For Primong, you can send a message to us on info@Primong, Primorg is the spelling of Primong, Primorg, info@primong.org, or you send us a message on through our phone lines
0902-265-6167.
And if it is ICPC, you want to send a message, though, we can quickly just give you the number
0800-2255-4272.
There are 12 numbers, so please don't worry. They are not 11 digits, they are 12 digits. So it is because it is ICPC that they have that special number. So at that we have to wrap up.
Many thanks to Mr. Jimo Suleiman of the Executive Project Monitoring Team, and also to Mrs. Azuka Ogugwa, Acting HOD, Public Enlightenment and Spokesperson of the Commission. Don't forget, constituency projects are not donations from the legislators.
And the public conscience is supported by the John T. and Catherine D. MacArthur Foundation, committed to building a more just, verdant, and peaceful world. Get more information about the MacArthur Foundation through their website at macfound.org. And we will be very, very glad to get information from you, and the subsequent editions we will highlight them and work with the ICPC to be sure that nobody is cheated in the implementation of the constituency projects.
Join us again next week for another interesting edition of Public Conscience on Radio. I am Adaobi Obiabomo.
And I am Okiri Agbonsuremi. Just as you run away from the corruption, please remember that COVID-19 is around, and you need to run away from it as well. Stay safe so that we can enjoy the constituency projects.